Broke boy, she got a bag. Gucci bag, yeah, I'm about to get her two more. When you clock out, baby, I got the two door.
Come here, baby, you mine. Let's not waste no time.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. I am your host, Brian Barnaby. I am joined by Matt, Tony, and our super producer, Mike. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, dude?
Hey, man.
Happy,
yeah,
good to have you next to me. I mean,
dude, that's right. I wasn't here.
Yeah,
dude.
Dude, what were you doing in that episode?
Dude, I was a little bit busy.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to tend to some other matters.
hey,
likely
you
story.
gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah. What?
Huh?
Oh.
But we got an exciting episode today. We're going to talk some baseball, some basketball. I'm going to preview the upcoming golf tournament this week, which almost, with everything with Tiger yesterday, it seems a little weird to even have a golf tournament, but it is going to be played, so we'll cover that a little bit. But we're going to start in the MLB, and today we are previewing the AL West. But before we get to that, just a couple quick notes, and this really caught me off guard. The San Francisco Giants actually signed Scott Kazmir to a minor league deal. He comes in 38 years old, hasn't pitched since 2016. I guess in his workouts, he was hitting 91, 92. Just feels like, with that big of a gap, kind of a long shot probably to make the roster, but nevertheless, a good story, to see someone who was once a dominant pitcher.
Yeah, I definitely called me by surprise. I haven't heard Scott Kazmir's name in years, It feels like. So crazy that we'll see him in the majors maybe.
Yeah, man, hopefully. I mean, it'd be a great story. Again,
Yeah.
I think we say it almost every episode that, people love a comeback story. The movie The Rookie comes to mind, honestly.
Dennis Quaid.
Great movie.
That was a great movie. That was a great movie.
We could do it.
I saw it in theaters with my two sisters and my grandma. The Rookie.
Nice.
Lovely. It was a lovely time. It was great.
Nice.
And then the only other thing was Jose Abreu. He just arrived at spring training. He tested positive for COVID. But like we've seen in other leagues, other players. I don't think this should be too big of a setback. Just probably going to get the clock going a little late, so that might prevent him from getting off to a hot start.
Right.
He won the MVP last year.
I don't think it should be a huge problem for him.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, he's one of the leaders of the White Sox, but between Tim Anderson, maybe Lewis Robert, they got Moncada as well. I think they'll be fine for the start.
Yeah.
I think they'll be all right.
Yeah,
the White Sox are projected to do some big things this year. So.
Yeah, and after a big down period, so it's exciting. They got some young guys, and we'll preview them I think on Friday. So that'll be interesting. But we'll start in the AL West, and why not start with the most controversial team in baseball, the Houston Astros.
Those rat bastards.
And you take a look at last year, they really got away basically with murder, with no fans in the stands.
Sure.
And it was funny because before the shutdown, spring training, there were fans. They're banging trash cans. Everybody loved it.
The guys were getting hit.
Yeah.
Left and right.
And that even happened into the regular season.
Yeah, right.
So I don't think,
with that whole thing, Correa.
That was great.
God,
That was great to see.
Yeah.
So last year, they have a mediocre year, 60-game season. They go 2 games under 500, 29 and 31. But somehow it's like they went back to their cheating ways in the postseason. They end up from a wild card berth. They make it to Game 7 of the ALCS. Down 3-0, I hate them, but I was impressed by that.
I couldn't believe that they made that comeback and they forced Game 7.
Man.
That was insane.
I think they did get lucky with the extended playoffs, and then I think their experience in the postseason showed for sure. And they played in the postseason.
Yeah. Now looking to this season, though, a little bit of a different team for them. No more Springer, and they still got to figure out what they're going to do with Correa.
They're talking maybe an extension with him. He's probably one of their best players, if not the best.
I think he gave them by opening day too to get that extension done. I don't know how much weight that holds with a player and organization, but they're probably looking to get that done sooner than later. And if not, then
Yeah, and they've had some big losses, you think, over the last couple of years. And, at one time, Verlander, obviously he's still on the team, but he's going to miss the whole season with, I think, elbow surgery from last season.
Yep.
At one time they had Garrett Cole. Obviously we're reaping the benefits of that in New York. So just funny to see kind of how the team's really starting to fall apart almost from that, World Series team and, making it 19 as well. But So it could be interesting to see what will they do this year. What do you guys think about, the Astros this year? Do you think they're due to, bounce back, have a stronger regular season, or do you think the pitching is going to hold them back this year?
Yeah, I don't think they'll be as dominant as they have in the last 2-3 years. I think this year we'll finally see them take a step back. I think what you just said with the pitching, that'll come to kind of bite them in the ass. More so than their offense, because I think on offense they're still pretty loaded, even minus Springer. But I think we'll see Houston take a little bit of a step back. I hope, anyway.
What do you think?
I mean, I can see it. I think it depends on a lot, honestly, on how they react to having fans in the stands. I think their pitching is still pretty decent. I mean, I would imagine Greinke is going to come out like Greinke normally does. They have Valdez, McCullers as well. Like, I think they have some decent starting pitchers. And also, I know we mentioned they lost Springer. They also lost Brantley as well. But I think Altuve is going to have a bit of a bounce back. I think he had his lowest batting average, like 219 or something, this past season. But it's a shortened season. You can't exactly gauge it, as you would. But I mean, literally, it's his lowest batting average in his whole career. So, I would imagine he's going to come back. He's going to want to step up given the offensive losses they've had so far. I do think maybe that hole in the outfield might kind of hurt them a little bit because last year they had a lot of injuries, and what helped them a lot was their depth, and they don't have that depth right now this season. But I still think they're going to absolutely be a contending team. I think they're going to make the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm sure we'll get to this, but I was just going to say it was come down between them and the A's.
The division's
for
a little
sure.
down. But like you guys are saying, I think
real quick too. I think they do still have Brantley.
I think
remember that report they signed with Toronto. And
he was all set, and then he ended up going back to Houston.
Yeah.
So
no shit.
He was real close. And,
breaking news here at Sports Port, as always, guys.
So I think that was
fuck you, dude.
that was big for him. He's the guy who was really good with Cleveland.
There you go, Sam.
And then
the Astros,
and then he kind of fell off. But then the last couple of years, I think he won a batting title one year. He's had some strong years, and then. Alvarez, I think he was a rookie last year. He's got some pop in his bat. He's a big power hitter. So it'll be interesting to see, too. I think a lot of these guys are out to prove because no one really had a great year offensively for them last year, especially Altuve. So I think they want to prove, it's not about the cheating. We are really good players. Right. So I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, because we still all have that taste in our mouth.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the fans may even have more of that taste.
I'd like to see them Houston get what they were gonna get from the fans across the ballparks.
I was gonna say what you guys kind of thought about that, and I think even though it's been a long time, you think because we had a whole season in between, I think they're gonna hear it, like you said, just as much or possibly more.
Yeah,
right?
Well, I'll tell you, when they come to Yankee Stadium, if we're there.
Dude, oh my God, dude! Yankee Stadium, Dodgers fans are gonna be pissed. Fans across the whole.
I think everybody just
so
hates them. Yeah. In terms of the baseball landscape.
Personally, I don't really hate them, but I hate them. All right, dude.
But I just think
you're a Met fan, dude. You don't really have anybody to hate.
Oh yeah, no, because Met fans are loving people.
But I just think it's funny, and then they would get really, really mad, when people are, banging trash cans or shouting stuff in the fans. It's like, what are you mad about? What about all the other teams that felt cheated? And a big thing that I felt personally was with Aaron Judge in 2017. I mean, he really should have won the MVP. And then on top of it, Altuve's cheating. That one stings a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. No, that was Judge's MVP.
Sam Riding wants to know, Yanks got Chironis, right?
Minor league deal.
Minor league deal, Sammy.
Might be starting in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
At the catcher.
Maybe he'll get a call up.
Yeah, never know. So on to another team in the division, the Oakland A's. They actually won the division last year, but like we've seen with them, struggling in the postseason, I think they might have won the first game of the ALDS and then lost the final three.
Yep.
So that was tough for them to take. They made a couple moves in the offseason. Trevor Rosenthal, which I was surprised about. I think they gave him $12 million or something. Usually the A's, they don't really sign too many free agents.
And they got Andrews, right?
Yeah, Andrews. They traded actually Chris Davis, who has really fallen off. He had a couple years in a row of 40 homers, and then he couldn't even hit 200, barely had any power. So I think that was a good move for them. He seems finished, and Andrews isn't that old. I think he could be, a solid shortstop. And then they brought in Mitch Moreland. So those are three solid additions, for them. But I think a big question mark is the rotation. I don't see a dominant pitcher in that rotation.
Neither do I. I think, the A's will kind of rely mostly on their offense to win games as opposed to pitching. Like you said, obviously Chapman has deteriorated or fallen off from what we know him to be in the last few years. But I mean, those three additions too, with Moreland and Andrews, somehow the A's, I just feel like they're one of those teams the last few years that have just made it work. And obviously we all know about Moneyball and things like that with Oakland in particular. So like I said a second ago, I mean, I could see that the West coming down between Oakland and Houston. But they're going to have to compensate for that pitching. Oakland. Lack thereof.
I think I like what you kind of said. You mentioned the whole Moneyball thing. They do kind of make some smart investments, you know. But I think the key for them is going to be consistency this year. I mean, I feel like last season they came out like real hot. They kind of fizzed out a little bit. And obviously you saw their lack of experience towards the postseason. But I think that their pitchers, just like the rest of the team, they're kind of not consistent. You know, Chris Bassett isn't consistent. Neither is Mike Fiers. Although they're good pitchers, like they are inconsistent, which will hurt them for sure. But I mean, I feel like in the AL West, they're still going to be contending. I mean, they do have some. You know, I can see them getting a wild card spot. I think losing Simeon though, and they lost Hendricks, I think, right, as well.
Yeah, he was the White Sox. That's
dude. Yeah. So that's gonna be kind of two hard hits for them. We'll see how they kind of react to that. And I guess we'll kind of see who can kind of bring what during spring training and see how they could do. So.
Yeah, and like we said, I think the pitching will be key. And one guy I have my eye on is James Caprillion. He was actually a Yankee first rounder, 2015. They traded him in the Sonny Gray deal. He's had 2 Tommy Johns. I think he's still only 27 years old. So it would be nice that he made like 1 start last year. So I think, you want to give that guy's always had high potential, let him go out there, let him be your 5 starter, see what happens. And then I think it's going to come down to Chapman and Olsen. They both hit 36 home runs 2 seasons ago. And then last year they were both, Olsen was 195, Chapman 232. So, you need big years out of them. And one thing with them too, I would love to see their team in a different stadium. They've needed to get out of that stadium for 20 years.
And Chapman said too, he's like, before last season started, he's like, well, we don't get fans anyway, during regular time, so this will be like no difference for us.
With
nobody here. Like, oh my God, dude.
I mean, in the logistics of it, you're playing in a football stadium where there is no football team.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. There's no more football team, dude. Like, what are we doing?
Oakland's got to figure it out.
Oakland.
Yeah. So I think they'll get one eventually, but especially with the virus last year, it's probably going to set them back a little more. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully they get some big brawls this season too. Oh, hot-headed team, dude.
Yeah. No, they bring the fire.
Last year, bro.
They
brawled Houston, I think, didn't they?
Yeah. And then on to another team in the division, the Seattle Mariners, who actually have not qualified for the postseason since 2001. I think they won 116 games that year.
And they won the World Series.
The Yankees knocked them out in the first round, actually.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
One was Arizona, dude.
No, I'm thinking about the Mariners. My bad. What? I mean the Miami Dolphins, Miami Marlins. My bad.
Marlins in 03. Yeah. So it's been a long time, and I think a big thing for them is they're kind of in between right now. They got a couple younger players that are coming up. The biggest guy I think in the rotation. I mean, they did bring back James Paxton. Yeah. We saw firsthand in New York. He always struggles with injuries, but maybe he goes to Seattle, back where he's comfortable, pressure's off. I could see a Sonny Gray.
Type of like redemption
to the Reds.
Thing. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Paxton, he pitched, decent during the postseason. But I'm sure, we'll see him pitch even better now back in Seattle because it's not New York City. Some guys just can't handle it. Pitching in New York.
Oh, you think he had a little bit of the yips over in New York, dude? Yeah, I guess I could say that. I don't know. I think it's a good pickup for Seattle.
When he was
Yeah.
I really liked him. It's just the big velocity dip last year that killed him. I mean, it went from 96 to like 92.
Yeah, it was definitely a big velocity dip. But who for Seattle? I'm trying to think on offensively. Who do they even have, dude?
Well, Kyle Lewis, he won the Rookie of the Year, and it's
Yeah.
funny. I didn't know that till recently. I guess because postseason awards on a shortened season, they don't really resonate, as much. But he won the Rookie of the Year, so he's got a lot of potential. And then there's actually been a lot of controversy with former Mets prospect Kelnick. He's an outfielder. They got him in the Cano Diaz deal, which worked out really well for the Mariners. There been talks about manipulating his service time. He spoke out to the media, and it's just one of those things. They're low on offense. Just bring them up already.
I know they're acting a little petty, dude.
Yeah, with the service time issue is the biggest issue that they're gonna have to work out.
Like, dude, you're a professional sports organization, like.
Because
bring the kid up.
The service time
got a few years back with Chris Bryant.
Remember,
he wanted to come up, and they wouldn't let him come up.
Yeah, he was mad about
service
that.
time.
Because it is 6 years
out,
6 full seasons. Is that the service time requirement?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, okay,
dude, that needs to fucking change.
Yeah,
and the next
I know it's tough, dude.
Because
it's gonna be tough.
Because you think about
that's trash.
You go to college for 4 years. You take a while in the minors. You're a rookie at 26. You're not a free agent until 32. You're done. Where's your big contract?
Yeah.
So it's.
Dude, the MLB needs to change that quick. That is horrible.
There's a lot of things.
No wonder no young kids want to play baseball.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you got to come out of high school. In
Literally,
order to
though.
hit that.
Like, and then the NBA is figuring out with the G League to get the players more money. These guys can't even get the young kids in their league at all.
Nah, dude. The minor leaguers, bro, though.
Dude, that's sad.
Yeah.
No wonder so much talent goes to waste in the for baseball.
Last year too, with they canceled the season. You know how many of those kids now
are
never gonna play again?
Yeah,
they were already in the system, but because they had to get cut.
Yeah,
tough.
That's terrible.
Tough, dude.
And then
Really
just also with the Mariners, so they have a couple of young guys, and then they have Kyle Seager. We were talking about Mitch Haniger before. He's had a couple injuries.
I forgot.
A couple tough injuries.
Couple tough injuries to come back from. Like, by God, dude.
What, the ball injury?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that in detail, Tony?
Yeah, because I know exactly how.
Well, you
like,
went
dude.
deep into research. You were researching it. You were really curious.
I was like reading an article about him, and the man had his testicle explode off a foul tip off of, I think it was Verlander, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
And it just, oh my God, dude, it hits him right in the crotch, and he's just, you can see it on his face, and he needed surgery that day.
Ruptured nut.
Ruptured testicle.
Oh God.
And then he had 3 other surgeries, I think, on like pre-existing conditions, like a type of torn muscle somewhere. So, I mean, dude, the guy's had a tough go. Past couple of years, dude. Oh my God. So, I mean, we'll see how he kind of comes back. But I mean, in terms of offense, like, I don't know, dude. I mean, even if he does well, like, I can't see him being like a game changer for Seattle. I mean, they're in a rebuilding stage.
Got a long way to go.
Yeah. I mean, Seattle
for a while.
To even have a chance to be 500, I think they need outstanding pitching performances every night.
Right.
Justice Sheffield, kind of ironic, they have him and Paxton traded for each other.
Yep.
So they got to have big years. So
you remember when that deal went through? We were in LA. Fitness in Stanford.
LA, California.
We
were in LA, guys.
And we had always liked Justice Sheffield, so we were actually not too happy about that at first. And then Paxton gave us some glimpses of why they did that, but. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, do you guys think they have a shot at 500, or you think it's going to be pretty tough, like a 60-win team this year?
I mean, if Haniger and Seager both like do really well, maybe, if they kind of get those runs, because I mean, their pitching is where they're going to suffer. They're going to be giving up a lot of runs. Like I don't even know any like really big names. And Montero is solid, right? Like coming out of the
he's a good closer.
He is, but I mean, other than that, like there's really no one you really recognize there.
Yeah.
So I would say no. Yeah, that's to me. A big old no on that one, dude.
Well, I think there's too much that they're missing.
What?
Yeah,
so.
I think it's like one of those things where they're hopeful for third place, but more realistically fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And dude, they'll have to play Oakland a lot, and they'll have to play Houston a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Being in the same division, so you figure they'll lose most of those games by just from Houston and Oakland alone.
Right.
So.
Right. And then on to another team in the division, very interesting, the Angels. It seems like for 10 years, we've been waiting for them to make the playoffs. You mentioned Trout. I mean, he's known as, easily a top 2 or 3 player in the league, if not the best.
Probably the best.
And he's had 3 career playoff games in 10 years.
just fucking a shame.
Brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal.
But one thing with them, the pitching has always set them back. Offense has been pretty good. Ohtani's a big question mark.
Yeah,
awful on the mound last year. They had to shut him down.
Brutal.
Didn't hit at the plate after a great offensive year
Right.
the year before.
Hit for the cycle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did pick up Dylan Bundy last offseason. He pitched well in a few starts for them, and they added Jose Quintana. You have Griffin Canning. He's a younger pitcher. But do you guys think, once again, even though you'll have Rendon for a full season, it's going to be the same old story, flirting around 500?
Probably, dude. It just seems that that's been their case, dude, for the last decade. And I feel really bad for Trout, obviously, because they've tried, dude. They really have tried.
It's funny you say that. Sam Ratting just said at the same time you said that. Send Trout somewhere he can compete.
And before he signed that extension, I always said he's going to end up as the Yankees. They missed him by one pick. He grew up in New Jersey.
Yeah. He's from South Jersey. I think he'd rather play for the Phillies, to be honest. Because that's just like South Jersey's right next to the Phillies.
And I kind of think he likes being in Anaheim, kind of away from the spotlight.
True.
But what I was going to say before is I give them credit for trying because I feel like they tried. I mean, they got Ohtani, right? We all know Ohtani was going to come to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Here comes the Angels out of nowhere.
It seems like everyone thinks great prospects going to the Yankees. Every great prospect goes to the Yankees. Dude. I mean, they're the Yankees.
You think you thought Ohtani was going to end up in fucking LA in Anaheim?
I predicted that. Yeah, years ago, dude.
Yeah. Like when Ohtani was born.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they try, but they just can't get it together. They got Rendon. Hopefully this year they can live around 500 and maybe somehow they're not going to make the playoffs though because it's just I know we have an expanded playoff field, but
and I was actually going to ask about that. I wasn't sure. Did they agree on, or we're back to the old format?
I mean, MLB keeps throwing plans out there, and MLB the Players Association, they don't know, dude. The same deal as last year. It was literally up until the fucking first pitch of the season, they were still ironing out details,
how bad
bro.
was that last year, bro?
Oh my god, dude!
Before they started playing again,
the whole back and forth
between
the PA and the owners.
But what do you guys think? Do you like what we did last year, or do you want to go back to the way it was before?
It is tough. It is tough because if you're a fan of one of those teams that's just about to make it, you probably want that expanded field.
I know.
But
I don't like the expanded playoffs. It makes the wins during the season mean less. For sure, dude. I mean, and also, I obviously universal DH. I think making a decision on whichever way, either DH or no DH, but for both leagues should be the same, dude.
And that's something too. Why not just do it?
Dude, just do it.
You can't just do it, dude.
Yeah, what is the issue, bro? Just make a fucking decision. I don't know how I feel about the man starting on second though in extra innings, dude.
No, I hate that. I hate that, and I hate 7 innings in a doublehever.
Yeah,
baseball's a 9-inning game.
Right. I mean, I understand the 7 innings this season with schedules constantly changing, shit like that. But obviously, don't keep that. That's fucking lame, dude.
7 innings,
doubleheaders.
I don't know. I'm kind of either way with that. If they were to go back to 9, obviously I wouldn't complain, but I don't think it's that big of a deal.
It's tough now because I think I forget what team. Maybe it wasn't the Cardinals. I forget what team, but literally didn't even play all their games because they were fucking.
It might have been Miami.
I think it was
St. Louis.
I don't think it might have been Miami actually.
Yeah.
They had 4 games. They just never played.
Yeah. No.
They had so many postponements and movements and shit.
It was all messed up. And before we preview Texas, they're the last team in the division. One thing too, I would just like to add is I think I like the old format better because that wild card game is so exciting. Crazy things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, what's better than win or go home?
Nothing.
Unless you lose that one.
As long as you're the winner.
But remember watching the Yankees Open a couple years ago? That was really exciting. That was great. So I hope
we've seen so many Yankee games together now.
Oh yeah,
in person or
and we can't wait to get back to the stadium this year. We'll see what happens with the Angels and on to the Texas Rangers, last place team in 2020. They traded Elvis Andrus, like we said before, for Chris Davis, Joey Gallo, and Odor last year. Terrible seasons. I think they both hit under 200. So they're kind of in between as well. And I wouldn't say, they're as hopeless as like the Pirates, like we talked about yesterday, but still, a lot left to be.
Long way to go,
dude.
So, what do you guys think about them? You think it's just, they might be second worst in the league to the Pirates, or, what do you see with them?
They're probably going to be like one of the top 3 worst teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I think Gallo's going to have a solid year.
Yeah, Odor and Gallo.
Yeah, right.
I think that both those guys will bounce back and have
For sure. They'll have good, individual years.
Yeah,
as a team, there's no hitting, there's barely pitching at all.
I don't even know, who's in their rotation, honestly.
Leclerc. He's a reliever. Yeah, he's a fucking closer. They're probably the best.
They have Bolton Nevitz, who was on Braves last year, and they cut him, I think, after the first game.
They had Kluber, obviously not anymore.
Yeah. So they're going to struggle, I think. And it's a shame they just opened up that nice new ballpark.
Fresh stadium, dude. Yeah. Oh, my God.
That was nice for the World Series. And it was the NLCS last year. They had that there, too, with the fans.
Yeah, dude.
So nice to open it up with that, but might have to wait a while for some, winning baseball.
Real quick before you go forward, this just in from Downtime Productions, our production team. We know who's out there controlling it.
I don't know.
Grasso.
Oh,
says the mustache is looking extra sexy today.
Thanks, Grasso.
Appreciate
that, dude.
Give him a little dance.
Like a little
mustache dance.
Oh. Impressive.
Thanks, dude. I work on my facial muscles,
Oh, yeah, you got it.
You got it. Yeah, exactly, dude.
And then just,
what are you doing if you don't?
Just to wrap up our baseball talk, picks for the division. Who do you guys have in the AL West?
I'm going to take Oakland.
I'll take Houston.
Houston?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Houston, too. I think they're more talented than Oakland, but I would like to see Oakland win it, of course. But
yeah, true. I would like to see Houston win it, Because honestly, I really do think that, they're a good team, bro. Getting caught cheating or not,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, I'm talking to a bunch of Yankee fans, so it's obviously, you guys are super butthurt, but dude, they are,
so if that happened to your Mets, you wouldn't be hating on them either if they robbed. What's your bum bootleg Aaron Judge guy's name?
Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso had an MVP year, which is a hypothetical, obviously. Let's say hypothetically he has an MVP year.
Right.
You're telling me that year it was the Houston Rockets, Houston Astros. They get the MVP. The little guy gets the MVP. Jose, and then they win the World Series by cheating. And you guys have the best record and probably the best team. You're telling me you wouldn't be as upset as Yankee fans are?
Would I be as upset? No, I'd be upset, of course, dude. But the fact is,
they do have a talented team.
They have a very talented. I'm a
cheating triumphs.
Yeah, dude. Well, I guess so. I don't know. I love Zach Greinke. Literally for as long as I watched him in baseball, I absolutely loved him, and he's a great pitcher. He's a cool guy. I'd love to see him win. And I think honestly they're a good team, dude.
Richard
Goldstein have individual talents.
Goldstein would take the Mets, boys.
I don't know who he is, but I like him, dude. I like him.
We'll have him in for the NL East preview.
Sure. Richard's the homie from Eastern Connecticut.
Yeah, thanks for joining me.
No, so he's a hooligan.
He's an Eastern Hoolie.
And then so we'll
go Astros.
We'll see what happens in the division. And then tomorrow we're actually gonna preview the NL West, so that should be interesting. All the moves the Padres made and stuff.
Oh yeah, dude.
We will see what happens, and then now we'll go on to the NBA from last night. And Gino, I'm sure, was happy last night as everyone saw
Luka banged it.
Luka for 3 in the win. Mavericks over the Celtics, 110-107. I can't believe Boston dropped another close game like this again.
Yeah, they're having a tough little go at it right now. They're losing a lot of close games. But it was nice to see Luka, dude, because the all-star that he is, bro, be able to come through for the Mavericks. Mavericks are playing a lot better now than they were a few weeks back. So it's interesting though. With Porzingis, dude, I don't know. We'll see what happens with him.
They're saying a back injury, but is this a little sketchy? Maybe. What do you think, Mike? You think any chance he gets moved, or?
Dude, honestly, yeah. It's actually, being a Knicks fan, when it happened, you're all depressed and shit or whatever. But now it's looking like we won out pretty nicely. Clearly, the big man can't stay healthy, and maybe there's something that the Dallas Mavericks know that we don't know about his reoccurring injuries right now. But if I'm Kristaps, I'm worried because Luka's time's ticking. Always. Every year it's ticking. And I know Mark Cuban knows that. He knows that. And if they got to let go of him, they're going to let go of him. And he's going to just turn into a big man that becomes a journeyman. You know, that was the woulda, coulda.
And it's crazy to think that because a couple of years ago, I mean, he was viral.
He's a unicorn.
All over, you know.
He's a unicorn.
Everybody giving him
he's still young. What is
yeah.
This is fourth, fifth
I
year?
think it's his fourth, I want to say. Just the time, just like.
So yeah, it hasn't been terribly long for Porzingis in the NBA, but it's definitely
only 25.
Yeah, he's 25. But
he's my age.
And just kind of a weird situation. He gets drafted. I mean, booed like
2015,
crazy.
2016 was his first year.
right.
Okay. But, you know, booed like crazy. Everyone said, oh, this is another foreign bust. Darko Milicic.
5 years.
You know, he showed a lot of promise, but the injuries have set him back. And it seems like there might be a little attitude problem there.
It could be. And dude, just the trend, you could see it for games played. 72 games in his rookie year.
Yeah.
Just trending down.
Yeah. Every year.
I think one of those years in the middle, though, he played more than the previous season, but it's been trending down.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see. Because usually big men, they take time to get adjusted to their body. Joel Embiid, remember, he took 3 years before he actually played a game.
Yep.
And now he's good to now he's good to go. You know, so usually those bigs develop later, get comfortable with their body later, then the injuries obviously come even later than that. So for him to have injuries like this early, you got to be worried if you're a Mavs fan and if you're Kristaps, honestly. And I love him. I still do. Like him healthy, he is like 7'3", plays the rim. He's just not moving. You could tell, like even just a couple years ago before the injuries, he could guard the pick and roll. That's what was so great about him. It was like he could play all ends everywhere. Right now, he's not guarding the pick and roll well, and it's showing. He's playing the pick and roll on offense amazing.
But he can't guard it.
He can't guard it, and that hurts them, and that's why and Dwight Powell and freaking whatever the other guy's name is, Willie Cauley-Stein, dude, that's not going to get it done.
Yeah. No, it's a shame, too. If they could pair Luka with just one more guy, regardless of who the role players are, if it's a strong top 10, top 15 player, I think they would be in the top half of the Western Conference at least. Just because it's based on how Luka, you know.
Damn right. And KP was talking shit to the Knicks when he left. Tweeted, "Stay woke, New York." He'd be playing with sticks in Latvia. He's whack.
I remember that.
He stiffened up
when he did that.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
They woke.
You know, but I would like to see him figure it out with Dallas because
Me too. Because I want to see him and Luka tandem, dude. Like it's a big and small, and they're both European guys.
Bigger version of of Nash and Dirk.
And based on improvements and stuff, I think in a couple of years they could be the best team in the conference, best team in the league. Yeah. Depending on who they bring in. Yeah. So we'll see what happens to the Mavs. Nice to see him get back in the win column. And then the Celtics. Man, I wonder though, is this just a little blip on the radar, or are they gonna really fall back?
I'm not really sure, because when you have the GM coming out like Danny Ainge did and say that we suck and our roster has no talent on it, then it might be a little bit more than just a fucking flip.
Yeah, there's some inner turmoil there, man. Jesus.
But he's calling out the talent.
They're right. I know he put it there, and they are a talented team, and dude, Jaylen Brown and Tatum and Kemba. So I don't know.
They're missing
Kyrie, dude.
Oh my god! And ever since Kyrie put the stage in the garden.
Oh yes.
Freaking weirdo. But no, they're missing like a stretch.
Big guy.
Big man. That's not.
They need like Drummond. That's not. Yeah.
We don't need Tristan. We need a real big.
Drummond, I think, would be a real big boost.
I think that's what they're gonna do. I have a feeling we're gonna see him on the Celtics, especially
maybe JaVale McGee, dude.
I think JaVale might end up in Brooklyn, but
I hope he does.
What Grosso found out where the Celtics have $28 million in cap to eat up right now.
Oh yeah, from the Hayward,
So I mean, it just makes kind of sense. That's like the designated destination.
Yeah,
for
they got to
Drummond.
do something.
Yeah, no, they're in trouble, I think.
And one thing I think no one really ever considers, because he's well respected, but I wonder if Brad Stevens' voice is getting stale there. He's been there a little bit.
I can see that.
8 years now.
Which doesn't feel like 8 years, but it's always been always a young, up-and-coming coach. But maybe
not so much anymore, dude. Yeah. He's been in the league now for a little bit, so.
I don't know if it's him. I don't know, man. It's tough, and they have 3 perimeter guys that are their go-to guys that play the same kind of ball. It's tough.
Exactly.
Right,
There's no diversity really
Yeah.
No.
in that lineup.
They got to mix something up. They got the Hawks tonight. I think if they lose to them, there's really
Somebody might get moved after the game if they lose to Atlanta.
So that was interesting. And then last night, and we previewed this game. Warriors 114, Knicks 106. What did you see in the game, Mike?
I mean, they did what we told them not to do, and that's let Steph Curry do what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when Steph Curry does what he wants, you're going to get a loss. I mean, it was relatively close game, but I just think the Knicks are a better team right now than the Warriors. I just think they're just young, so it's like it's going to take time to put the fourth quarter together.
Right.
To know, just that whole thing. So it was a tough loss, but especially with the fans being back for the first time, you could really hear them. 2,000 people there just sounding like 20. You know what I mean? Because we were listening to the Michael K show earlier, Tony and I, and they were saying how like those are real fans there. Those aren't 10,000 of the fans being tourists or whatever. It's 2,000 New York Knicks.
Fans.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. No businesses trying to like
Yeah.
just people trying to see actors on the floor or whatever, dude. Which makes perfect sense, dude.
Sweet life.
Yeah, and he was saying how loud the Garden was.
Yeah.
It was popping.
Yeah.
With what, 2,000 fans?
300 in Brooklyn, but
300,000.
defense seemed to shut down late. Yeah, totally agree there.
And usually, they get off to a hot start. In the first quarter, it feels like they're always leading. They fell behind. And like I said yesterday, Curry, he made a couple of three-pointers early, 37 points, 7 three-pointers. And James Wiseman looked good coming back.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you said he was going to do work, and I didn't disagree because I love New Orleans and well, don't get me wrong, but he's not Mitchell Robinson. So
remember Nerlens?
Yeah, don't get
Nerlens getting nervous.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny too. I thought he was going to be so much better.
Yeah, no, me
than,
too. Bro.
He's fine. He's respectable. But
he is.
He was supposed to be a number 1 overall prick.
Remember, he got hurt right before.
Him and Coley.
Number 1 overall prick.
He is the number 1 overall prick.
God, number 1 prick of all time.
Oh man, but no, he stepped up. When he's needed to. And then Draymond Green last night continues his kind of triple single, 7 points,
it's amazing.
9 rebounds. I don't understand that.
I think it's amazing.
Do you think he doesn't care
about scoring?
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't give
or
a
just
shit.
in general. I mean, I know his other numbers are okay.
He definitely doesn't give a shit about scoring.
No, scoring is like
He's probably got in his head. He's like, fuck that. I'm gonna grab every fucking ball I can.
ball, make the offense flow, make sure my guys get their shots.
Yeah.
He knows he needs to keep this shit moving.
He's kind of turned his sights on Wiseman too a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's always around
I think
him.
he's just like kind of taking on that like father figure role in terms of like
Fabiani, first team all prick.
exactly. Yeah. Tony would be on that team too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Look at him with the smudge in his eye.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep. Get in your mouth.
Yo, there
Yeah.
you go.
How's that
Slime,
slime,
dude.
dude?
Nickelodeon slime.
Awesome.
I don't like how the smudge is in my head, dude. Fuck.
It's all right.
Coming down right on your forehead. Look at that.
I'm used
But
to it.
I think it's going to be real interesting. This is a while away. But when
Goldstein. The Knicks are clinching the playoffs this season.
Richard, how are you?
How are you, Richard?
This is Goldstein. How
No,
are
I
you?
mean the Knicks. I think what are they, 7th in the
They're
East
7th right now.
Yeah.
2 are a game behind, above 500. They're right where any Knicks fan should want them to be.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the year you would have taken this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know how Knicks fans get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
As
think
soon
they
as-
got.
Go ahead, Maddie.
No, I was gonna say, we're coming up on the All-Star break, but they got 5 winnable games, I believe, coming up.
Yeah. Sacramento tomorrow.
Yeah. If the Knicks go like 3-2, Mike, 4-1 maybe.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Nice way going to the break.
Oh yeah.
Or they could go 0-5.
Yeah, they could, but I don't think they will. And then that's great because then it'll give a nice little break for them. Be happy, watch their guy Julius in the All-Star game.
I'll be pumped for that.
But yeah, the Knicks are definitely going to make the playoffs this season. I could totally see that. And if not, at least they'll be in the tournament round to get in, which is like you said, Barnes. Any Knicks fan would have signed up for that. I think it was like 2 weeks ago or whatever. What were they? 11-42. Just ended an 18-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So now a year later, we're in the 7th seed. Thibodeau's the man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's definitely a lot
absolutely.
to do with coaching.
And one last thing on the Knicks, and I don't know what your thoughts are. I mean, I know he's solid off the bench, but I'd like to see Rose start instead of Payton. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, that's a definite for me. I respect Payton. He's doing it. I just don't like him at all. I'd rather have Rose there 100% of the time and have quickly back him up.
Yeah,
honestly,
I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
and quite the career renaissance for Rose. I mean, we thought he was basically going to be retired at this point, and he's done well. And then also in the NBA, they announced the reserves yesterday. And not too many surprises as far as guys that made the reserves, but as far as guys that are left off, I was kind of surprised at a couple. The Eastern Conference, we had James Harden, Ben Simmons, Zach LaVine, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Julius Randle. Well deserved. He's had a great year. And
hell yeah, and LaVine.
From the Magic, maybe that was the one guy. I mean, his year's been pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? I like him because he's always technically an all-star each season, but he always just gets doesn't get looked at because he's in Orlando. They're not that great, but he's actually quietly one of the best big men in the league. I'd say like center-wise.
Yeah, he's solid.
Top 10 easily.
Yeah.
Definitely with the All-Star.
Like you say, he just plays on Orlando.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, imagine if the Celtics could get him.
Oh,
that would completely change.
Dude, that would change the game there.
Yeah. And then, on to the Western reserves, Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, Zion, AD,
good to see Zion
Paul
there.
George, and Rudy Gobert. Not any really surprises there. A lot of those guys.
Is Dame in it? They put Dame in it, right?
Yeah.
Good.
A lot of those guys could have started. So that we kind of expected that, but there were a lot of snubs.
I think Dame should start over Luka. To be honest.
Yeah, that's how does Devin Booker not make the All-Star?
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
I mean, I've watched a lot of Suns games this year. I mean, he just pulls up from anywhere. He's improved.
Yeah, his all-around game defensively, he did improve, dude. Like
probably one of the better players in the league,
hands down.
Should have made the All-Star team.
And one other guy, I think Brandon Ingram should have made the All-Star.
Oh yeah, totally agree.
Ingram's had a nice
he made it last year. Dude.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't get that, bro. To be honest,
me either.
I really don't.
Me either. They wanted Zion in it, to be honest. Over Ingram.
It's all fucking.
And I know he's not going to do it, but I would love to see Zion in the dunk contest.
Oh, I would love that.
He teased it apparently earlier today.
I didn't know that. Okay.
John Paul.
JPO.
How about the Nuggets only playing 8 guys last night?
He's hard on for the Nuggets I've seen in my life, dude.
He does. They're a good team, but are they going to come out of the West? No. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, though, Jokic,
monster
oh, my
game.
God.
Dude.
And he's a guy who doesn't get national recognition at all.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody really talks about him. And, the Nuggets last year, I mean, they made that run, to the Western Conference Finals. So would you be that surprised if they made a deep run?
No.
Probably not, but I don't think we're expecting it again.
I think they will make a big run. Depends who they play.
Right.
If it's like a Clippers early round or some tough team, early round, I don't know. It's going to be tough, but Jokic is a beast. I was going to ask you guys, who would you rather have as your center, Jokic or Embiid?
Jokic.
I think Jokic,
dude.
Yeah.
I think Embiid is a bad attitude. I don't like Embiid.
Oh, my God.
No, but
he doesn't.
He's like a little dick,
Jokic
dude.
is the
He's
most
first team all prick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He could be the
Embiid,
point
first team all
guard.
prick, MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, what about you,
Fucking
Mike?
asshole.
Are you on board with Jokic, or you'd rather have Embiid?
This season, Embiid, I don't know. I think I take this season, dude. He's looking so complete right now. I've never seen him pass out of double teams as well in my life.
Embiid?
Yeah, he's just like, he's very patient. He's not rushing things. Like, I don't know. I love Jokic.
He's an MVP candidate.
I'm gonna say Embiid right now, but Jokic, I always love Jokic.
Yeah, no, he's had a great year. And then, tonight we have a bunch of games.
JPO is not a Nuggets fan, by the way.
And I know JPO is going to be watching this game. We have the Lakers at the Jazz. I think that's the 10 o'clock game on ESPN. Really should be interesting. And the Lakers, they've lost 3 straight. I was looking this up before. They're actually a 9-point underdog.
Wow.
When was the last time with LeBron they were a 9-point underdog? I mean, that's...
You pushing that bet?
Probably in his first year, dude.
No. But at the same time, I mean, I think this is one of those things where the Jazz are getting just a little too much love. I understand that they've won 21 out of 23, but I think everyone is just like, they're not the Warriors from 2016. They're not going to go 73-9. I mean,
no, definitely not. They don't remind me of that team, at all, but with how nasty they are. But, Lakers, like you said, coming off 3 losses in a row, obviously missing Anthony Davis. I think tonight is lining up where the Lakers will finally get their first win without AD against a really, really tough opponent, obviously. But I think it'll be a close game. I think, Mitchell's going to continue to score and make plays like he does. Gobert, grab a ton of rebounds and score like 4 points. But, I'm looking for the Lakers to finally, pull out and snap this losing streak, get this W.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I think no one hates losing more than LeBron James does. So
except for me.
No, not even you, Mike.
But no,
I hate it a lot.
I think,
but you still lose in the end anyway. It doesn't matter.
3 straight losses. I mean, that's going to motivate LeBron. And then the fact to go at the Jazz, you know what I mean? They're in first. They're getting all the attention.
Exactly.
I think this might be one of those games where he goes 40, 15, and 10, honestly.
I can see that.
I get, hitting those 3-pointers from 40 feet.
I think he'll put his foot down tonight and they'll win. They'll end up getting a win.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking the same thing. What do you guys think as far as the game tonight? Jazz or Lakers?
Oh, Lakers. Yeah, for sure.
Lakers?
Yeah.
And what do you got, Mike?
I'm going to go Lakers as well, but I'm curious to know. I think JPO's coming in soon. Curious to know what JPO thinks.
3-pointers, yeah.
JPO is not ready.
Okay.
But I'm going with the Lakers. Yeah, I'm going with the Lakers. I think LeBron's going to have a big game tonight.
Yeah.
I think he's coming out for vengeance. This is what they've lost a couple. Utah's the best team. He's going to shut up some people right now, like Tony.
Yeah, no, this is going to be one of his #Wash King type of games.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, there he is. There's JPO.
JPO.
Get him in one sec, folks. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah, dude.
What's up?
Hey, yo.
What on one sec?
I'm hearing a lot of bullshit.
So, we all set?
There he is. He's
So,
all right.
are you going to tell us how the Jazz are going to win by 50 tonight? What do you got?
Not by 50, but definitely by 4 or 6 points for sure.
Yeah.
I hear him. I think it's just your.
Keep going. My bad.
Can you hear me?
No,
Yeah, we got you.
the Jazz have definitely been hot. And one thing, they have such a deep roster, and I was surprised, and a guy that I watched, I remember in the NCAA tournament, who no one even thinks about, Georges Niang, last game, 7 of 7 from 3. He's like their 10th, 11th guy off the bench. I mean, they have a really deep roster, a lot of good role players.
Yeah. I don't think, without AD, what are they, 4-1 since he's gone? Or no? I might have that stat wrong, but.
No, I mean, they dropped their last 3.
Yeah, well, they won the other one, but I think since AD has been out, they've been 4-1. So you tell me, I mean, that he's, the second biggest player on the team as far as like scoring goes. They're missing a huge piece. So I don't know without him how well they're going to do against a team like the Jazz. I still think they're underrated, being in first place even,
Yeah, I mean, I think that would make sense for any other team but the Lakers, just because you have LeBron. I mean, it doesn't matter who he's going up against. You always have a shot.
Yeah, exactly. He's proven that time and time again.
Yeah, and just for the record, again, I'm not a big Nuggets fan.
Nuggets guy.
I'm a small ball fan. It seems how he's not being played. I'm kind of pissed at the Nuggets organization right now.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, JPO, that he's not playing at all.
If you're not going to use him.
Do the Knicks pick him up, or?
Yeah, if the Knicks got him, I'd shit myself.
That would be sick.
Yeah, that'd be
I'd literally shit myself, JPO.
Hey, the Knicks are playing the Mavs at Madison Square Garden on April 2nd.
Oh my! I think we could. That'd be a fun trip.
Swing that, yeah.
That'd be a real fun trip, dude. Especially because JP, Gino's a huge Mavs fan. He would definitely want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
Yeah,
we'll definitely talk about it after the show for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were already talking about it a little bit.
And then another game tonight, we got the Warriors, like we said before, coming off the win against the Knicks. They're visiting the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers have been disappointing this year, especially in the Eastern Conference. They got a lot of players. They're only 15-14. I mean, that surprised me. I don't know, what you guys
Yeah,
thought.
they probably, losing Oladipo obviously contributes to that. Their poor record a little bit. But, dude, I like the way the Warriors are playing. I'm a big Wiseman fan. I like Steph Curry as well. And with the way they played last night, I think we're going to see that roll over. And like we said, I mean, the Pacers aren't very good. So I think this will be another win for the Warriors.
Yeah, they have kind of a bad home record, 7-9 at home. I think Warriors are kind of roll them over a little bit.
Yeah, but it's one of those things maybe where they have a lot of pieces, but they don't have that one superstar.
They're 4-6 in their last 10. They really just they're missing some things too. I think they do have talent, but
it's like LeVert.
Yeah, LeVert, and then T.J. Warren. Yeah. I mean, he went off last year in the bubble. Mm-hmm. He only played a couple.
It's their view from the hotel, dude. All they see is cornfields.
Yeah, I know. Seriously,
it's depressing at home.
It is depressing, dude. It is, dude. They're probably like, forget this.
Dude, I've been to Indiana, and I drove for an hour to an hour and a half straight, and all I was going by is cornfields. I'm not even lying.
Oh my God, dude.
The intersections were the same. It was completely straight and like this, like the whole time for an hour and a half, dude. So that's depressing.
Yeah, the whole different world out there.
Yeah, that is.
I'd have a panic attack if I was out there, I think, like every day.
And then just one other thing with this game, I think the way that the Pacers might be able to win is down low because, I mean, Wiseman, he's not going to play big minutes. Mm-hmm. Looney, I'm not impressed with. So you have Turner. Sabonis has had a great year. He was the snub for sure. So I think they have to pound the paint. Turner, I think, leads the NBA in blocks as well.
Yeah,
so I think they're going to be strong, on defense.
The only chance that the Pacers have of winning that game is if, first of all, Steph Curry doesn't hit a hot streak and Kelly Oubre continues to suck. So
yeah,
he only got hot maybe 3 games this year.
Yeah,
I would even say that 140-point game is the only time I thought he did well this year. So far.
Yeah. And I know he had a stretch of maybe 7 for 50 or something from 3.
Yeah, from 3. Remember the beginning of the year?
Oh my God,
dude. Terrible.
So that kind of just kills momentum, when he's just chucking threes. But so it sounds like everybody is expecting the Warriors.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna go Pacers. I think they're due to turn it around. It'll be a fun game to watch. We'll see what happens. And
I don't understand how the Warriors are that good, to be honest with you. I mean, realistically, you got Draymond Green scoring 4 points a game. I know that he's
literally
people's heads on the court or whatever, I guess. But who else is putting up numbers on that team?
I mean, I could just say how great maybe Steph is and Steve Kerr, right? What a great coaching job right now to keep them in the hunt.
And I don't like him as a player. He's way overpaid, but Wiggins has had some good games. And his numbers aren't crazy, but he stepped up.
He shows flashes.
I know, it sucks.
So annoying.
It's crazy. Remember watching him in college at Kansas? You were thinking, this guy's a stud. You're talking about the next LeBron.
Yeah, yep, I know.
So
48-inch vertical, guys. 6'8".
Jesus, freak.
So that kind of surprised me. But before we wrap up the NBA, anything else anybody kind of sees as a trend moving forward, or any other about the game tonight?
Just to see how the Lakers are going to fare without AD going forward. To be honest, that's really what I have my eye on.
Yeah, and I also. Oh no, go ahead, JP.
No, I was just going to cut in and say I'm looking forward to seeing the Spurs play tonight because they haven't played in a week and a half due to everything.
Oh, that's right.
So, and my boy Keldon Johnson's been killing it all year. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, I've been impressed with him.
Dude, he's going to be the next, I would compare him to a Kawhi Leonard. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah. No, he's had some big games, and I think Aldridge is returning from injury tonight too because I think he missed a couple games. Obviously he's getting older.
Get rid of DeMar DeRozan,
Yeah. No, those guys I think have set him back the last couple of years. I've been surprised. I thought, okay, I mean, at least they could be an 8 seed with those guys, but I think they're just way past their prime, unfortunately.
I think DeJounte Murray's a gunner. I think that he needs to pass the ball more. As soon as he gets the ball, him and Lonnie Walker Jr., or Lonnie Walker the fourth or fifth or whatever the fuck he goes by. I mean, he's a gunner.
Yeah, honestly.
They need to pass the ball more. And once they do pass the ball, if you watch the games, I probably haven't missed a Spurs game this year, maybe a couple, but once they start passing the ball and stop like coming down the court and just going to the basket without seeing any of the other four players on the court, they're winning games, man. They are a sleeper pick in the West, in my opinion.
I feel like they always are, right?
Not saying they're going to the finals, but they're going to be in the mix.
Time to rebuild San Antonio, Downtime Productions.
That's what Grosso thinks. I like what Grosso said, that Wiggins is scared to be great.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I think he's never going to live up to it. Unfortunately. You know, he could be solid, but he's not going to make any All-Star teams or anything.
Hell no.
I don't think so.
No.
You weren't going to make it in Golden State. You're not making it anywhere, dude.
Yeah.
And then one other interesting thing, they've kind of, no pun intended, heated up lately. What do you think about the Heat this year after a big run to the finals last year? You think they're going to keep this up, or do you think it might be a little bit of a down year for them?
They've been definitely inconsistent. I think they'll obviously they're a playoff team, and then we'll just have to wait and see.
They're still burnt out from the playoffs. They're still burnt out.
Yeah, I think they're just one of those teams where you just have to wait till the playoffs to see, what they're capable of.
Bam's been playing great.
Yeah.
I agree with JPO, though. I feel like they're having a little bit of hangover.
Yeah. And Kendrick Nunn's been killing it now that he's back off the bench.
He's been playing well. He's been playing well.
But certain games, he gets like a DNP coach's decision. I don't understand that. I mean, because Dragic's been out, that's why he's been playing more.
Didn't Nunn have COVID?
He might have earlier in the season, but I know he's been benched, just purposely when Dragic was healthy, and I think Dragic might be questionable tonight.
Well, he got hurt in the bubble, I believe, and that's why he wasn't playing.
Okay.
But I don't know if during the beginning of the season he got COVID, and that's why he wasn't playing, or if it was still from that injury in the bubble. But I mean, Nunn is lights out once he gets going. So I don't know, man. I think like we were just saying that the Heat kind of burnt themselves out in the bubble, and maybe they lost the mentality that they had, because I think what got them to the finals is their mentality in the bubble, and that was it. I mean, all the other
Jimmy wasn't going to let them lose in the bubble.
Yeah, no. And then what about Tyler Hero? I don't think he's played as well this year. He was lights out.
Music videos.
Sophomore
Carlo, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, hey, Mikey, remember one of the first episodes?
I know you. Yeah.
What I tell you?
You said it. You're worried that all the glitz and glamour and all that stuff is going to get to him. He's not going to work as hard this offseason. And clearly it's showing.
Yep.
Clearly it's showing. I mean, it's like, all right, dude, like, yes, you're a great shooter. It's your rookie year. No one really knows your game. So you're going to get those buckets. You know what I mean? And then it's like, all right, now we have mad film on you. We know exactly what you're going to do every time.
He does.
You should have came back with a couple. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. You should have came back with a couple more moves. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, as a viewer, and I haven't played that much basketball, at least in a league or something. Like the IQ plays a major part, obviously, in the NBA. And once guys learn, like I was watching the Mavs game last night, which, by the way, Luka, oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Amazing.
We'll get back to that. But like when they were talking, Candace Parker was talking to who was she talking to during the break? And she talked about how like left-handed shooters always go right to the rim or something, and like that is a read, and that's something that a regular viewer like myself doesn't think about while watching a basketball game. But guys on the court, like you were saying, Mikey, once the guys learn your move, you know which way they're going.
Yeah. You could telegraph it more. Yeah, exactly. And now those easy looks are now contested looks with a 6'10" dude in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look at through most of the game last night, the Celtics really put a hold on Luka because they were double teaming him and making him do some really uncomfortable passing. And they turned the ball over a lot in the first half. But I mean, Luka's, like he said after the game, it's like chess. I mean, the kid has such court view. It's amazing. So.
Yeah, they do one thing, he sees 2-3 steps ahead of it.
Yeah, they had him trapped a lot in the first half, but he changed it up and killed it. He was 6 for 8 at the 3 line.
Yeah, no, that I was impressed. He struggled, a little bit with that this season, but I think overall, he's had a great year, and I think eventually he'll win an MVP. But we got a little ways to
Shall
go.
see.
But that, really wraps it up, for our NBA segment, before we do any closing remarks. Any last things you wanted to add, JPO?
I'm good, brother.
JPO, love you.
Yeah,
thanks for joining in. Thanks for coming in, bro.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you soon, bro.
We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
So, good catching up with JPO, talking a lot of NBA. And then really the only other thing, I just wanted to touch on, we do have the first World Golf Championship tomorrow at Concession in Bradenton, Florida. And I think it's going to be a little weird, just coming off Tiger. I think a lot of the golfers are going to be distracted out there. I don't know if they'll be able to focus as much. Justin Thomas specifically, he's a good friend, as is Rory McIlroy. And it's funny because earlier in his career, Tiger had that mentality: I don't care about anybody, I don't want to be friends with anybody. But then after he had, the personal stuff happen in 2008,
dying.
he had, he got friends with these people. So I think that's really going to affect things this week. And one player that kind of stands out to me that I'm predicting, golf is hard to predict winners, of course, but I'm thinking Dustin Johnson this week. He's had quite the run ever since the FedEx Cup playoffs last year. He seems like he's really honed in, mentally tough. So that's gonna be my prediction. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be a fun event, first PGA Tour event there. So I'm looking forward to watching that. And then just lastly on golf, like we said yesterday, really pulling for Tiger. They've come out with some more reports today. I was listening.
Wasn't drinking, wasn't anything, so that's good.
Yeah, I was happy to hear that. And just listening to PGA Tour radio, I hate to say this, but a lot of the guys are kind of predicting that he's not going to be able to make it back on the course. Yeah. But you do have some of the players saying if anybody could do it, it would be Tiger.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm kind of split down the middle, honestly, just because of his resilience.
I think he's going to come back.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
Tiger.
Imagine if he could come back and just play the Masters only.
Right.
He loves that course so much.
I know.
By the way, what's the golf tournament at the end of the summer? Which one is that? That's one of the 4 majors. The U.S. Open?
Yeah.
So I was saying for, maybe circle that for we'll see Tiger around that time, maybe.
Yeah,
that would be hopeful.
Yeah, that would be very hopeful.
Very hopeful.
But it would be a hell of a story.
Yeah.
Whenever he comes back, those Tiger roars, as they call them, they're going to be electric. So really pulling for him. Hope he makes a great comeback here. And before we wrap it up, is there anything else anybody wanted to add or?
Guys, just keep tuning in. We love you. We're here every day. Every single day now.
I got nothing else going on, guys.
We're going to be here with you.
And we don't leave the room.
No, we don't. And actually,
I live here.
My clothes are
here. My clothes are here, dude.
My clothes are here, dude.
And if
toothbrushes in the bathroom.
And if you guys are interested in screen time will be live tonight in about, I'd say, an hour or so.
An hour?
Yeah, an hour probably with Jay at 6:30.
You got to eat dinner, no?
Yeah, I guess. If Mike lets me eat dinner, I'll eat dinner.
Yeah, guys, so tune in for that. Screen time will be coming hot. Tony, how much do I hate losing?
Dude,
Fabiani.
Honestly, I think he hates losing more than you, Mike. I shit you not.
I don't know.
Dude, nobody hates losing, especially Reese Fabiani.
Oh. On that note.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much for joining.
We
love you guys. Tune in next